Greetings, my excellent friends. We have explored most of southern Rivington. We have met not just the clown, but the entire circus. We murdered a dog abuser. Actually, we resolved things diplomatically, then we reloaded because the game crashed and decided to murder her instead, and I don't regret that. What else? We met the family of that dude we murdered for Astarian's sake back in Act 1, but thankfully we don't appear to have gotten into any conflict over that. And we're on the trail of the exploding teddy bear guy, but we haven't quite nailed that down because we need to go to the bridge first. Yes, Astarian is the one who kidnapped the whoopsie. Anyway, they've recognized the fact that he's... it would not be correct to say not evil anymore. Under adult supervision now. Yes, let's go with that. Also, there's been a big announcement, apparently, that Larian will not be making any additional content for this game beyond the patching process they're already doing. There will be no expansion, there will be no DLC. And it was described in a way that seems like a little bit sanitized and polite. A little bit. Because Larian's CEO also likes to talk about how corporate greed ruins things. Like, he's very, very open about that. But he has to be generalized there. There's an unwritten sentiment that perhaps the reason they don't want to keep making things for the D&D license is because of what happened with Hasbro. And the fact that the team, the Hasbro D&D employee team that worked with Larian to make this game all got fired at the end of last year. So while Larian were discussing and considering whether they were going to make more stuff for this game, as they have in the past, their Divinity games have expansions and such. Games like this tend to have expansions more so than DLC. They tend to have a main game and then there's a smaller but still substantial additional story that gets told in its engine. It's good business because, you know, you build off of what you already have. Make something fun faster. And so it would be an absolute business no-brainer to make more of this, but they don't want to. So the only reason I can think of as to why they don't want to is because of those licensee concerns of seeing that who they're working with here does not exactly reflect how they want to operate. So they're stepping away. I can't really argue with that. I can understand being frustrated by it, but at the same time, like, Larian are still gonna make something. And it is probably for the good that they are not tied to things they don't fully control and own. And we get an explosion of dialogue all around us.
Breathe deep and move.
It does mean that if a Baldur's Gate 4 does appear, it's not going to be developed by Larian, and that means it's probably going to be hot shit.
Want to let those thugs get away with this?
Who knows? Maybe they'll find another developer that's good, but I don't trust that. There's another path down this way too.
Citizens only.
There's definitely a lot of below the bridge to explore.
There's nowhere else to go. Please.
We'll probably approach this
We've got ours, you've got yours. I need you to step back.
There must be.
at some stage as well, but for now, we have this lovely place wherein I believe we found a floating elephant that I'd like to check out. So let's see. Let's talk to these guys at the front. The Callista family. 4 of them, 2 kids.
I should speak up.
Help us. At least let the children in.
Refugees.
We've had nothing but scrap.
Bet you won't get kicked out of the temple. They blame us for everything.
Oh, this isn't a conversation. This is just reactions. Okay.
If you're looking for Il Martyr's charity, you're out of luck. They've turned their backs on us, like everyone else.
Interesting that we have an Il Martyr pronunciation there. Il Mater is what I normally hear, but both are valid.
So don't teach me how to investigate.
Like it's like it's Mater as in mother, but
Want to let those thugs get
there's certainly accents and European languages that would go with mater and father, you know.
Can I please have some food? Oh, sorry. I thought you were a priest.
No, but I do have 3,000 camp supplies, so we really probably could afford to chuck you a loaf.
I'll give them a piece of my mind.
I'm so hungry.
We would never hurt him.
Unfortunately, if we do literally throw food at him, it will hit him in the face, and I will be a criminal. Would you like this apple? It's weird. No.
I heard he's a good man.
Let us talk to him.
So Karlach now has the sweet stone features buff, by the way.
For the good of the
1d4 to attack rolls and saving throws, just because there's a naked statue of her back at camp. Which, by the way, are we carrying that thing with us? Like, camp is not a static location. We are moving all the time. Who's in charge of carrying the Karlach stone?
The priests will open the temple up again. You'll see. They're good people. Holy people.
Mm-hmm.
If you're hungry, you can wait with us. A priest might come out with some scraps if we're lucky.
Here we be. Take me to my cherished Shira, and thy reward shall be plenty.
Find Shira Clarwen, the granddaughter of the dead spirit. Can we have a conversation with the amulet now that we're here? He might have new dialogue. I think we need to equip it, unfortunately, to I may as well equip it while I'm here. I'm gonna keep it. That's weird. There we go. Just have to remember that I've been wearing the necklace of elemental augmentation. Let me put it over here so it's separated out and more visible. But yes, can I speak to you?
Would never hurt him.
Where's the button for that?
Swear it.
It is hard to find. What is it? Symbol? Red. There it is.
Thou shalt return to me. Thou shalt have my blessing.
I found Worm's Crossing. Where's your granddaughter?
Shira hath devoted devoted her body and soul to Ilmata. Find her at the Open Hand Temple.
Beneath the rampant joy, you sense the monk's fear and sincerity. He doesn't wish to harm you, but that doesn't mean he won't. You feel a chuckle coming on, but it soon fades.
Novice Bramble.
If you won't help us, at least let the children.
The crying one weeps today. Our father Lorgan is dead. Murdered.
What happened?
I don't want to talk. My heart is in mourning.
Nothing to do with his death. I swear.
May Ilmater guide your footfalls, stranger.
The temple of exactly this. Exactly this.
Brother Bill.
Ilmater's edict is to welcome all into his embrace. Salve all suffering.
By allowing his faithful to suffer the most? We let more outsiders in and more Baldurians die. Duke Stelnane, Father Lorcan, it's no coincidence.
We have faith here, Bill. Faith in people, no matter where they're from.
Who had more faith than Father Lorcan? How did that work out?
He was murdered, or so I've heard.
Exactly. Lorgan let a killer into our temple due to his misguided compassion. His faith got him murdered.
Bill, I beg you, be quiet. Even sinners receive Ilmater's grace, and Father Lorgan knew that. We don't pick and choose who we aid.
If Father Lorgan had been pickier, he might have still been alive. Sounds like your god would be proud of Father Lorgan.
Thank you, stranger. I take some solace knowing that he died in Ilmater's service.
Does Ilmater's service involve protecting heretic absolutists? Or perhaps I missed that sermon.
Enough, Bill. You seem a kind soul. Our temple is open to you. Walk well. Times may be hard, but the god on the rack asks that we endure. For him.
If you're looking for a handout, try elsewhere. We're focusing on our own now.
Why are you in an Ilmater temple?
I've nothing against Father Lorcan.
That's a strange attitude for an Ilmater temple guy. Like, my understanding of these people is that getting murdered... Oh, good. I got to suffer for in the name of my god. I got to get murdered. Yay. So the elephant is Valeria Sleuth of Helm. Hollyphant Celestial. Helm is not Ilmater, so you don't belong here.
Enough, Yanis. I don't teach you how to pray, so don't teach me how to investigate.
Okay, so the elephant is Sherlock Holmes. A new blasphemy, bloodletting and sanguine arcana. Penned on official House of the Broken God parchment by the revered mistress of the house, Lashbearer Katrine. Be on your guard, mine faithful, for speculation and heretical wandering has spread amongst the broken flock in recent times. If you are offered blood transference, report it to your temple's rector immediately. It shall not heal you, it shall not deliver you. To suffer truly in the name of our Lord with the big rack, on the rack, your own blood must endure.
But his methods need to rest with him. We need change.
The suffering masses. To salve a scar or stitch a broken seam of skin is simple, but a curative for the soul, for the malaise of suffering that sits betwixt one's ears and in one's heart, that is a harder balm to apply. We faithful tormented must practice listening most intently and hope that the act of spilling sorrow from stuttering mouths is itself soothing. We must learn which words to speak in fetid silence, and when to speak them, but most of all, when to let tranquil reflection be. Soups of the Realms by Brother Donick of the Broken Caps Lock. A selection of soups has been outlined in the sticky, often splattered pages of this missive. Dippin' soup. Sometimes you got nice bread, and nothing's better than dipped bread. Mash up healthy chunk of tomatoes, nice and pulpy in a pot, getting rid of the skins if you can be bothered. Cut half an onion, slap a couple garlic cloves with your palm, grab a couple herbs if you got 'em, dried'll do, grab a small chunk of lard or other fat, crack some salt and pepper, add to the tomatoes, heat your pot for half an hour or so until thick and dippable, pick out your chunks of onion, lovely snack, and garlic, smelly snack, and taste for seasoning. Taste for pleasure with some nice bread, a hunk of cheese, or just scoop with your hands if that's all you got. Potato chowder. Look, if all you got is potatoes, you gotta make potato soup. This chowder makes it not horrid. Put your lard in a pot, chunky one mind. When it stops being lard and starts being hot lard, add any good smelling veggies, leeks, garlics, onions, so that you've chopped it all thin. Please salt this so it doesn't taste of nothing. When it's soft and good smelling, chuck in any flour you got and stir the mixture so it don't burn. Note from me, it's very important to not burn it. Emphasize. Please do not let it burn, that'd be rubbish! If you're fancy and have wine, or have a generously stocked temple wine cellar nearby, add a bit of it now and cook it off. When it's gone, add some wedged potatoes and a lot more liquid, not wine this time, or you have a headache the next morning. Cook it for half an hour or so till the potatoes are nice and tender, and mash some of them up in liquid. If you've got any cow products, cheese, milk and the like, add them now for extra delicious results.
Enough, Yanis. I don't teach you how to pray, so don't...
Lo! A most joyous sensation.
Here we go.
For the eyes of Father Sormel of the Open Hand Temple only. Field report, Benton the Devout, Marpenoth 12, 1368 DR. Today, a roughshod group of adventuring sorts happened upon my little patch of Firewine Bridge, so I naturally espoused the benefits of our shattered saint unto them. Can you conceive of what they said to me, Arch-Suffer? After I had warned them of the evils of the most perverted of magics, this group of degenerates claimed to house sorcerers. Sorcerers! They would not heed my warnings about this degenerate magic, nor would they cast off all earthly belongings and join our flock. The feeling in the pit of my stomach as they cast pitying eyes across my pathetic form. What exquisite, holy suffering. Dude, that's not religious ecstasy, that's a fetish.
Kitchen. Visitors kindly keep to common areas. Food will be served at meal times.
I read this one, didn't I? The Suffering Masses. Yeah.
I have all the evidence I need.
If you're looking for a handout, try elsewhere.
Cannot believe that's a Ilmater guy. Wow.
Decide who deserves Ilmater's grace.
The Triads for Children. This light read for younger worshippers opens on the following adage. On the first day, Tyr saw the world's injustice, though his eyes were blind. On the second day, Torm was slain and returned to serve the truth. On the third day, Ilmater wept for all that came before, and all that was to come. Behold, protection's future, the Steel Watch! The age of the Steel Watch approaches. The immutable logic and impeccable judgment of complex machinery will pass law without fault and without hesitation. Why must we risk the lives of those brave enough to accept the mantle of city guard in the fray with common thugs? Moreover, why must we risk the liberty of citizens at the mercy of the vice and caprice of others who take this mantle for ill? Worry no longer, as the Steel Watch automatons take to the streets! That would explain a bit about the big chunk of armor standing at the street there. Baldur's Mouth, presumably the same one we've been reading. Nope. Calls to ban refugee help in Rivington. Refugee allegedly slaughters benevolent Father Lorgan. Investigator Valeria to investigate. Oh. What else was Investigator Valeria going to do? Dance? Armies of Absolute massing around Moonrise Towers. Feywild Circus appears in the middle of Rivington. The Fist recruits. Only you can protect Baldur's Gate. Shunning. Upper City closed off. Ran out of budget for that section of the game. Sharessa's Caress deal. Luskan lap dance 2 for 1 with ostrich plumes.
I have all the evidence I need. We don't even have the murder weapon. Details.
On the matter of soups and starvation. I implore you, Rector Yanis, Father Lorgan, to restore your temple's most wonderful soup kitchen to our encampment. My precious baby loved the aptly named meat slop you last served, even if the other ungrateful souls here turned up their noses. I can only sacrifice my own meager rations in his name for so long. Yours faithfully, Fortuno Dibbs. Saravok Anchev! A study in suffering.
You're wrong about Father Lorgan's killer. Enough, Yanis. I don't teach you how to pray, so don't teach me how to investigate.
Sorry, this is written... No, it's written about him, okay. A transcription of a sermon given in Baldur's Gate in 1368. Baal can teach us about suffering. Please hold your gasps, patient flock. I assure you, there's a point to this unorthodox subject matter. I'm sure you've heard the gathering rumors about the recently deposed Grand Duke-elect Saravok Anchev. They're true. He engineered the sickness within our nation's iron. He slaughtered Duke Elton. And yes, he nearly set Baldur's Gate and Amn into a full-throated war against each other. All this for one whose name you should know with fear but nary speak. Baal. A murder most complete. I love how they lent into D&D magic. Saravok kills Duke Elton. But then in Baldur's Gate Siege of Dragonspear, the Beamdog made much later expansion to Baldur's Gate 1, Elton's back, and it's just because they fucking resurrected him. Because, yeah, well, of course they would. He's a duke. Realistically speaking, this father should probably get brought back. If he's important enough. Resurrection in TTRPGs is used very heavily to keep the player party going, but it isn't put into the world with all the logic it perhaps should. Like if you want to kill off a world leader in order to spark a conflict, well, realistically speaking, they should have the money and magical resources to just fucking undo that.
Enough, Yanis. I don't teach you how to pray, so don't teach me.
Yeah, they should. What about Stalmain? He's dead. That is just considered an immutable fact, but it really isn't. She's dead, rather.
I have all the
It really shouldn't be.
You don't even have the murder weapon.
Isabel got brought back. Anyway. This is why our work is important, you noble tormented. Suffering must be balanced, alleviated. We must bear its lashings on our shoulders when we can. For if we do not, our Lord and the Rack's enemies will press upon it and allow its weight to tip and crush the world as we know it into bloody pulp. These are the stakes, my suffering lambs. This is the rod our backs must bear. Credo of the Rack-stricken Lord. Ah! Alright, fine, I'll read it for real. Lord on the Rack, weep for us, for we are weak and you endure. Let your heavy tears fall, let us wince on the salt as we sup. Shoulder our pain, we beg you, as we salve others gathered near. Cry agony and we shall gift your words to souls that need them most. Colfax's Compendium of Consecrated Creatures. An Ilmatari bookmark in this uncharmingly alliterative tome brings attention to one particular page. The Hollyphant, a most mild-mannered mastodon. 'Tis rare to find, dear reader, a creature of such benevolent countenance as the noble Hollyphant. The only wrinkle with the fine beast I have found is upon its leathery hide. On the topic of the wrinkled skins, other angelic forms in Mount Celestia are gigantic, so mayhaps this skin will tighten when the Hollyphant engorges in celestial size. Ah, 'tis an errant wandering. Whilst conversing with one of their breed, Lulu, I learnt that the Hollyphant averts its wants from mortal vice at all costs, and has an indefatigably buoyant and cheery view of the mortal planes. I could not bring myself to quash these imaginings of our realm, and only hope we one day rise to this creature's conception of our kind. Ilmetari Combat Manual. Many would ask how the Open-Hand Temple should respond to acts of violence against our persons. Well, it is a most sticky conundrum. We must rely on the gifts granted to us by our suffering god, that of curative miracles. As long as you can salve yourself, your fellow congregants, or even the wayward minds of your vicious assailants, that must be your approach. For we are not to inflict suffering, only to alleviate it. Besides, there's always nearby Flaming Fist to handle that sort of distasteful thing. Hopefully. Gortash is probably suggesting the very few resurrection-capable clerics in Baldur's Gate not to bring him back. Her back. Probably.
Infirmary. Justice endures, even in suffering.
Order of Ilmetari Service.
Enough, Yanis.
A mass book used by the Broken Gods congregation during regular services. There are a lot of hymns about self-flogging scattered throughout the Yep. That guy in the Da Vinci Code would fit right in this church. Sister Yanis.
All the evidence I need.
Is elephant bothering you?
Investigator. Brilgor might have been a criminal, but he was no murderer. You're missing something. You have to be.
Enough, Yanis. Listen to yourself. You are defending a man who ritually slaughtered your high priest. The evidence speaks for itself. Brilgor killed Father Lorgan, then, be it out of shame or profane duty, offed himself with the same blade. Case closed, Sister Yanis.
Shitey little elephant. Oh, I apologize, stranger. Language like that hardly befits a rector of Ilmater.
Given the circumstances, I think Ilmater will forgive you, my god would. Don't apologize, sounded like a load of bollocks anyway. No, we'll do the cleric line here. I very rarely pick them, but this might be a good opportunity for it.
I suppose you're right. But the crying one has much more on his plate than curse words, given what just happened here.
What did happen here? No. Father Lorgan's passing, my condolences.
It wasn't just Father Lorgan. 2 people just died on temple grounds. Our High Priest, Father Lorgan, and one of the new refugees, Brilgor. Investigator Valeria thinks it's a murder, and is content to blame Brilgor, the politically convenient target.
No murder story I've ever read has ended simply. I bet there's more afoot here.
Feel free to look around the temple, but fair warning. The investigator won't change her mind without significant new evidence.
Where can I find the investigator?
Charette's caress would be my best bet. That's her usual haunt after closing a case.
Can you tell me where to find Shira Clarvan?
I can tell you where to find her, but she won't be very chatty, I'm afraid.
Dead?
Shira passed away last year.
Fuck.
Peacefully, mind. We buried her in the crypt under the temple, if you wish to visit.
Any idea what I should be looking for?
Valeria never found the murder weapon, so that could be a start. Anything disproving the refugee murder-suicide angle, really. I really hope you find something. For all our sakes.
Entertainer, drama sleuth. So Valeria is she, her. Did not get that impression from the voice, but I'll have to remember. So, we need to bring the amulet to a grave, unfortunately. But it's time for murder investigation in the meanwhile. Now, Valeria is at Sharessa's Crest. That's probably going to be annoying because it means that we're not going to finish all of this if we're going to have to go out there to interview her.
I've nothing against Father Lorcan.
But we can deal with that.
Need to rest with him.
Now, if we're supposed to ask questions, can we talk to these three again before we go further in? Talk the nice one first.
Times may be hard.
Nope. Mean one? Anything new?
If you're looking for a
nope. Novice?
temple of exactly this.
Nope. Right then. Deeper into the temple. Oh, I suppose we can talk to Yanis.
How goes the search?
What do I need to prove Brilgor's innocence?
Valeria never found the murder weapon.
Right.
That would be definitive proof that they missed something.
Any advice where to begin?
The killing happened in the kitchen cellar. Could be a good place to start.
Where are the bodies?
Logan's in the room behind us with Sister Rose. Brilgor's buried out back, through the kitchen and the dormitories.
Infirmary. Justice endures, even in suffering.
There's Rose. I suppose this is less of a looting and more of an examination. But let's speak to Rose first.
What ails you? Marsh fever? Feather lung? Be quick, I've not got all day.
Do I look I'm undergoing delayed elithid ceramorphosis. I have to say that.
You'd interrupt me for something like that? Just rub a bit of aloe on. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a dead high priest to see to.
Wow, I'm investigating his death. I have some questions.
What do you want to know?
Who do you think killed him?
I reckon Investigator Valeria is right. One of the refugees killed him. Cruelly, too. They cut off his hand, sawed right through the bone. I found a paralytic poison on one of his wounds. Logan was alive while they took the hand. He just couldn't scream. It's sick. We give them everything, and all we get is nothing but a good man to bury. Please, leave me be. I've got an awful lot to get done.
I had more questions. Oh, fine. If they cut his hand off... Why do I see... Oh, I see. Right. His model doesn't have the hand, but his outline does. That's an engine limitation, isn't it? His silhouette... There's an invisible hand that they can't make go away. Yes, indeed.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Who killed you?
Dwarf, dressed in red.
How'd you die?
A poisoned blade. Paralysis.
Where were you attacked?
Tunnels from the cellar. Refuge.
Why did he kill you?
The corpse remains silent. It does not know.
What were you doing when you died?
Hiding Brilgor from fists.
The spell's power.
That helps a lot.
Please, leave.
You're not going to comment on the fact that I just had a fucking seance in front of you? Right, bet you've seen it before. Ladder. Try to do everything on this level first before we go up or down.
Bet I can crack that open.
Yeah, it's killed by John Lister. Anyway, this is where I would have entered if I had have decided to go straight from the circus. Or there, if we want to go to the graveyard, which we do want to go to, because it's relevant to, finding Shira.
Kitchen. Visitors kindly keep to common areas. Food will be served at meal times.
Maybe I need more. What's that?
You know, these big dirt piles really should stand out more than they do.
Let us talk to him. Please, if you could just...
We have the Duke's full support. For the good of the people. Our people.
Well, whatever's happening over there doesn't seem friendly. Man, there is quite a bit below. Big cave. Everything soup. Also called welcome soup, this broth is named for the halfling tradition of frantically raiding the pantry or garden upon the unexpected arrival of a guest. Frankly, if somebody does not announce themselves before they come up, if somebody arrives unannounced, you should have no obligation to serve them fucking anything. Like, yeah, if you're hosting a gathering and you know what's going to happen, sure, okay, host hospitality, whatever, usual traditions. But if somebody knocks on your door and you're not expecting them at your door, well, I hope they fed themselves before they got here, because I'm certainly not in charge of that.
I've said all I have to say already. Now I just want to pack up my kitchen and leave.
You should probably clean up the massive blood trail before you go. I'm investigating Lorgan's murder. What do you know?
I know it's not fair. This was the best job I ever had. Lorgan was kinder than most. And now they're blaming a refugee for his death. Typical.
I spoke with Lorgan's corpse. Where can I find Brilgor?
We tossed Brilgor out back.
Delightful.
Look, I need to finish up here. Lots of soup to clean up. Blood, too.
There are secret tunnels in the cellar. How do I open them?
Not a clue. Rivington's riddled with old smugglers' tunnels and the like. I wouldn't go poking around in them if I were you.
Well, the cellar's there. Is there a reason to lockpick all these chests? There might be evidence. The faded text and battered parchment of this Ixinian manuscript date back to the 4th century. And lo, he walked among us. But for a brief and brilliant moment the crying God wept upon our earth with the tears of a most fortunate faithful. He took the cur of Gehenna, this most deviled creature of murder, and held it in his immutable embrace. In his most perfect knowing he walked with it into the sea of fallen stars. The cur clawed and screamed and ripped and tore, but he brooked no quarter. And when the sea ran red with the blood of the divine, the wailing and gnashing ceased. The creature was dead. No trace of his commanded faithful remained, save for a humble iron helm, which washed ashore with nary a scratch or sea rust about it. Do I want to steal from the Ilmater priests? I imagine there'd just be a bunch of whips in there, yeah? A book full of furtive prayers for forgiveness to the crying God. It smells musty, as if kept underground for a long time. Lord Ilmater, I beseech you, look upon me and behold my sin. Let it stand before your infinite patience and balk in its presence, for while I am weak, you stand mighty. Let me be absolved before your weeping majesty, that I may cleanly bear the burden of others in your name. My knees may stagger, my bones may break, my will may fracture, but my faith stands strong on your shoulders, Lord, if you will let it. Register of Temple Dead Speakers. A death will often cause, or in turn be caused by, an imbalance of suffering. On such occasions, a priest must commune with the spirit to see if they can address their imbalance. Please list your trained Temple Dead Speakers below. Dead Speakers of the Open Hand Temple. Lash Bearer Katrine, Sister Clarwin, deceased. Father Lorgan, deceased. At the bottom of the page there is a handwritten annotation. Apply for Dead Speaker training at earliest opportunity. Can't have none at next temple inspection. Why? Yanis. Where is Lash Bearer, or Lash Bringer, Lash Water? Lash Bearer Katrine. Easy Furniture's DIY. A practical guide to furniture building. The false-bottomed chest. Now this false bottom ain't an illusory glamour, but a surefire way of stopping your most precious belongings becoming someone else's. Prying kids, snooping house guests, or even overzealous city watchmen will all be stumped by this simple trick. 1. Construct chest. See Building Bits Volume 2 for more instructions. 2. Cut some wood to the dimensions of your chest's internal base. Make sure to match the grain and hue. 3. Nail in some wine corks to the original base. 4. Punch a wee hole in the new bottom. 5. Drop the new bottom into the chest. 6. If you need to move the false bottom, use a long bent nail to lift it out and peruse the goodies as you please. Now why would that be written in a room like this? The Well-Tended Garden, a non-denominational guide to gardening for faithful folk. Whomever you pop your prayers toward, everyone needs healing, and you can't afford a blessing or miracle for every scraped knees. That's where the most holy art of planting shrubs comes in. What to grow for healing? Rogue's Morsel, best grown in the dark and dusk. You can even plant these in cellars. Amazing. Balsam, spindly flower that takes well to tall and chilly climes. Yellow musk creeper. Now these ones are a tad difficult. They do feed on human corpses, which doesn't fit in with an awful lot of faiths, but think about it, really cuts down on graveyard space. What to grow? Poisons. Mugwort. This stuff cures any poison when refined right, but it does smell awful powerful. Stink out a whole temple, this will. Well, I'm glad that had a page too. Meditations, Volume 1, Father Lorgan. This record, penned by Rector Yanis, consolidates various sermons of Father Lorgan. Do not, brethren, mistake the wonders of gathered society for the decrees of those atop it. It is the duty of a faithful tormented. It is your duty to know when these decrees beget unjust suffering. It is not an easy duty, It is a duty that will scar your hands from carrying it, as it well should. We must at all times recall a central fact. To suffer is not holy. To suffer is a consequence of holy duty made practice. Ilmater does not enjoy his pain, my friends. He endures it because it is just. Our own pain is an acceptable price to pay, but it is not a good in itself. Right, so there's a lot of people among this particular faith who don't really understand that. Some may ask of you, if you are loved by your God, why does he allow you to suffer? Why does he allow anyone to suffer? The question is strong rhetoric, but it has an answer. One cannot be healed without first being hurt. One cannot truly know joy without knowing its absence. But to live a life full of absence, full of suffering, would be to know only one thing. We enact balance in the name of the Lord on the rack, for it is right and it is just. Don't live a life full of absence. That's... it sounds fun, but boy, you will not be all there. Memoirs, Vol 1, Sister Clarwen. This book details the path in faith of one Shira Clarwen. Moving from the light is how he always phrased it, which I thought was a bit much. A ray of morning light dims this day, he would insist. I just can't really see it the same way. I can comfort, I can listen, I can heal. Of course, my talents are best suited in worship of Ilmater. I have no ill will towards the morning lord. Indeed, I think a shaft of his light will always shine in my heart. I worry, too. There's something that glimmers in Pa's eyes when he talks about the light. It's not something I like. I alight to Baldur's Gate next Tenday, to the Open Hand Temple. Maybe they'll know what ails him. And the most holy sermons of Lashbearer Katrine. Commissioned on her ascension from Open Hand Temple High Priest to the House of the Broken God's revered mistress. O piteous tormented, we live in wretched times. So eager is our populace to beg succour from the city's teat, and so readily is such succour available, that our broken God is seldom lamented to. The weeping of the fetid masses should fall righteously onto the blood-burned ears of Ilmater, not into the hands of these useless bureaucrats. A query often wet on the tongue of Ilmater's loyal wretches is thus, who does he bid us aid? How must we aid them? Well, the answer is simple. We must give these sordid souls the tools to aid themselves. A working knowledge of the Ilmatari creeds. Unless these unfortunates know to channel their suffering towards the crying God, how is he supposed to intercede for them? Think upon these words, my children. Shit bedroom? It's open air! Ooh.
If everyone else minds their business, I'll be fine.
Illegal to open that door. Not illegal to open this one. Remedial potion. Tombstone.
Dominic Sonny lost himself to addiction, but found peace in Ilmater. Mikkel Hornkiss gave all to the lepers, fell to the malady himself. He is a beacon to us all.
That's the clown! They dragged him over here. Is he glowing? Can I do this with him?
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Huh. Where's the rest of Dribbles?
Mistress needed his body parts for her art.
Why did you single me out from the crowd?
I saw in your eyes what I see in my own. Death.
Why did you attack?
To sow chaos. It is his will.
You feel a rush of power, dark and insidious. Something prevents the corpse from answering.
Baldur. We know he's a doppelganger, but who is he individually?
I am called Thumb.
Well, yes, I can read that. I was hoping for something a little bit more elaborate.
The spell's power waned.
Jesus.
Narlo Essie. Grief and illness laid ruin, yet her heart held only compassion. The broken god be with her. Geshan Kirkaros built the open-hand temple, gave all in his name. We honor their life and legacy.
Biscuits over there for some reason?
Seems simple enough.
Alvin Muffle Fieldwick gave his fortune to the poor, died in the arms of friends. He will be missed. Millie Runbarrel, killed by the cult of the Absolute. May our martyred father shelter her. Unknown child and her dog, who stood watch over her grave. May they be reunited in Ilmater's grace. Brilgor fell to anger and rage, taking Father Lorgan with him. May Ilmater forgive him.
Can't have been that recent a murder if they've already got the tombstone prepped. But I guess we have to dig him up now.
Right tool will do the trick.
It's very funny to me that the souvenir hawker is right next to the graveyard. Anyway, Zydrate comes in a little glass vial. Oh! Oh, that's how we're doing that, huh? Never seen a video game objectify somebody so thoroughly. Oh, there he is.
Let's march.
Yeah. Carlac can actually carry him.
Move.
The corpse regards you, lifeless.
Tell me something, dead man. I feel like asking, are you Brilgor, is a... I feel like I have to just to make damn sure that we're not being lied to here.
Yes.
Now that I've done that, though, I don't want to commit to it being one of my 5 questions, so I am going to immediately reload. But... I still think that was important.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
He doesn't look like a dwarf in red. No, but does disguise self persist after death? How'd you die?
Pierced. Once. Paralyzed.
Who did the killing?
Dwarf. Red clothes. Stranger.
Were you alone when you died?
Father Lorgan. Helping me.
Why?
Fists. After me. Needed to hide.
That's corroboration. Where?
Tunnels. Beneath. Temple. Hidden from sight.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
What a charmer.
Karlak, can you get him back in his box?
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting
What we can't do is put him back in the ground.
One day I'll catch a break.
But it's close enough. Whoever comes by to bury the doppelganger will presumably bury the Brilgor again. So... we have no idea any further information on Dribblebits, but we have both up and down. Yes, I was heading here. Up seems more self-contained. It is presumably a tower, not a floor. If this were Saturday, I'd be looking for sniping point. Yeah. You could get a Kabi real good from here. Can't see him, but he'd be there. Burnished necklace is the only thing up here, though. It would, but I like Lucretius. I wouldn't want to see her dead. I suppose if you wanted to kill anybody in this circus, you'd have to kill her first in order for it to stick. Huh. Come to think of... oh, shit, there's shit... there's a Tressim. Oh.
What's on your mind?
You have a problem to deal with.
Oh, I could go for a good meal.
Magic or no, a cat is a fucking cat. Down we go. Well, I was thinking, right, but the pigeon stuff, yeah?
Gale, is this one yours?
It is! It's Tara! What's she doing all the way out here?
killing pigeons. Disrupting communications across Baldur's Gate. Hey there.
Hiya.
Oh, no, not you, not you.
No one stopped me yet.
Mr. Dakarios, heavens! Fancy seeing you here.
Tara! That can't be you, can it?
I suppose you won't be terribly shocked to find your old friend Tara amongst the pigeons. They've always been a personal favorite.
My, is that a ring? For us? Ugh, you shouldn't have. Enjoy yourself now, Tara. Looks like you've got yourself set up quite nicely here.
Gale, she's been eating the missing courier pigeons. Tell her to stop. What is your Tresim doing here, Gale?
She isn't my Tresim. She's my friend. And from the looks of things, it appears she's eating pigeons.
Can you ask her to stop eating pigeons?
Oh, right. Did you hear that, Tara? Stop it?
Well, these must be important birds indeed, Mr. Dakarios. Forgive me for feasting on their bodies and bones so very voraciously.
Oh, she's agreed. Just about.
Is that it? Huh. What happens if he's not there?
How can I help?
You can find her on other roofs. Yeah, I know that as a character, she is developed mostly for Gale's origin playthrough. Like, that's something I already knew about. I knew that she existed because I'd read about how if you play as Gale, she shows up in camp in Act 1 so that she can be a character you can talk to about Gale's problems. I don't know if she just shows up for one scene or if she hangs around, but, like, she exists so that you can learn all about Gale's issues without having a Gale conversation with someone else who is you. You know what I mean? But evidently they didn't want to waste her, so they put her in everybody else's game as well here, I guess. She'll be in the city itself, right, so we won't see her for a while. Cat's got your tongue. God damn it, Karlach.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
We should resolve this. We should go back to Sword Coast Couriers before we go into the cellar. Is there merit in looking for the elephant before we go into the cellar? Probably not.
Don't burn yourself.
Here's the question. Do we want to read the mail?
Still breathing, despite everything.
There's 3 ways to do this. Option number 1 is to be a good boy and deliver the mail unopened to Danzo. Option number 2 is to be a bad boy and read the mail, then deliver it to Danzo. Option number 3 is to be a cheating boy, hit the quick save button, read the mail, hit the quick load button, and then deliver the unopened mail to Danzo. I had my eyes shut when I was delivering those 3 options, but I see that Demon Dragon went straight to 3. This is said without judgment. It's exactly what I was thinking. But here's the thing. We can use what we learn to decide whether or not we actually might want to live in the world where we've opened it. Now, if this were a game like Undertale, it would note that we've done this and would then punish us for doing it. But thankfully, Baldur's Gate 3 is kinder than that. Letter about taxes, anonymous letter, and postmaster shipment enquiry. A concerned citizen tries to clarify his economic situation so that they are taxed accordingly. It is a nightmare of epic proportion that would make an accountant cry. A lengthy letter from a Baldurian patriarch to an unknown correspondent. It describes in no uncertain terms how both parties could profit from a war. Postmaster shipment inquiry. For the special and direct attention of Roa Moonglow only. Look, Roa! You city gent have always been consummate professionals to me, so I don't understand why the Waukene's Rest cell is so useless. I was supposed to receive several items from them a few days ago, but have heard absolutely nothing. Could you put out some feelers? Zaris doesn't answer my correspondence anymore. Denzo. Ooh, leverage!
Had nothing to do with his death. I swear it.
Didn't Zaris die? Yeah, I think we... No. I can't remember if we slaughtered them or not. I don't think we did, actually. Zaris was the one we met at the Zent cell of Waukene's Rest, right? I don't think we killed them. No, we just murdered Rugen. And we can switch Gale away, that makes sense. And I will. But first, let's get off of this goddamn monastery in the most ostentatious way we can. Next one with plot stuff will be Astarion again.
Alright, what now? Another step forward.
I kind of want to talk to Danzo having opened the mail because I think that's funnier. Considering how directly relevant to him it is. I'm gonna take my lumps. We've never really used Gale. I wouldn't know where to begin with him. Which isn't terrible. We've got magic missile and stuff.
Well, all you want. We've got enough mouths to feed. We don't need your kind.
Our kind?
Refugees.
I don't suppose you've, stumbled across those letters yet?
So, you and the Zentarum.
You read it? Technically, that's interfering with someone else's property. I should report you to the nearest manip. Tell you what, give it here and we'll say no more about it. I'll give you a nice little bonus as well, a finder's fee. What do you say?
Ooh, leverage! I've got another buyer lined up. It'll make a very generous fee. As much as Jaheira is a do-gooder, she would absolutely help with this. She is not a fan of the Zentarum.
Fine. Just give me the
She is
letter.
murderously not a fan of the Zentarum.
Forget you saw anything. This never happened.
$636. Another 30 gold, and I would have thought you were sending me a message. You know what? Now that I've learned who you are...
Need to find a way forward.
Citizens only. I won't say it again. We will clear them armed. There's nowhere else to go.
I'm having that.
gets away with this.
Those thugs works for the guild.
Lost in thought.
Here. Didn't I sort of join the Zentarim? But just because I told them that doesn't mean I was joining them in my heart. Is there anything else you would say that I'm terribly missing from Gale's spell list that he should have prepared? Does he have it? Yes, he does. We don't need enhanced sleep because Jira has it. Well, there you go.
And for what? You didn't even fight back.
He's also got his suicide button. And 2 firebolts for some reason. I must have given him the firebolt wand, but he also has it natively.
I've got a long road ahead.
Right, so what's in this note that I stole? Interestingly enough, we don't give him the other 2 letters. He doesn't give a fuck about those. The Zentarim in Waterdeep are currently in a bit of a street war with a thieves guild led by a beholder. Urgent report for Duke Ravengard. Grand Duke Ravengard, eyes only. After marching west from Moonrise Towers, the Absolute's forces took Angavled and then split into 2 wings. One wing, consisting mainly of bugbears, human mercenaries and brigands, has remained north of the Chantar and is travelling west on the Skuldask Road, threatening Tempest's Tears, by which time you read this has probably already fallen. The second wing, mostly goblins of the 7 tribes, bolstered by hobgoblins, crossed to the southern bank of the river and is marching west past Sunrise Spire, ultimately threatening Rivington and Worm's Crossing. Both wings are commanded by cadres of renegade drow officers, easily identifiable during daylight hours by their broad-brimmed shade hats. There are notably fewer of these officers in the ramshackle southern wing, and I think the goblins will be vulnerable to ambush in the fields south of Rivington. Scout Manip Nash Kellan. Well, he's not getting that information. I mean, he couldn't anyway. He's not currently available.
Time to press ahead.
Cellar, I think. Who is she even talking to? That's her own family. It makes it sound like she's, like, arguing with an actual monk out the front who's telling them we've got nothing for you today.
Let's see.
Anyway. So we couldn't find... Yeah, so Shira and the crime scene are both in the cellar, curiously. And we will be looking for secret tunnels. And we will be looking for anything we could steal. Especially because we could blame it on the elephant. Though I'm really past the days of needing to check every single container. Part of me still likes doing it. Shira there, crime scene there, everything else that way. Yeah, I reckon there might have been a bit of a crime happening here. Whew. Sheet music. An elegiac fugue in the key of D minor. Ode to the oppressed. Plea of rest. A hastily scrawled and slightly damp plea of rest, requesting to be freed of Ilmata's service for the duration of a 10-day as the writer mourns Father Lorgan. On the Weary, Volume 1, Father Lorgan, a collection of Father Lorgan's writings on despondency. Perhaps the hardest suffering to ail is that which dulls, but does not pang. Weariness sits deep within one's soul, but it casts its miring net across the surface, dampening all errant thoughts and feelings in its wake. Malaise of this sort can rot the heart if let to fester, but must be extricated carefully. Above all else, the weary soul knows itself better than you can. Do not condescend, do not assume, do not impose. Simply avail yourself as a tool to the weary. Let them know you can be used however they might need. A book of Ilmateri death rites. This page on the turning is particularly dog-eared. There will come many a time, O worshipful tormented, that you will have to comfort a faithless unfortunate as they pass from this life to the next. Or perhaps even more distastefully, you may be faced with the dying acolyte of a wretched god, keen to shirk the blasted afterlife awaiting them. The Lord on the rack grants us a great many powers, but altering the moral velocity of a soul is one we cannot shift on the deathbed. If one has lived a life of sin, their soul is bound for a sinful place, no matter their final protestations. However, it would do much more harm than good to tell them this. Ilmater does not forbid the speaking of untruth, no matter how polite society deems the act. If it would spare the dying wretch some suffering as they pass, tell them that the weeping god awaits them with his balming embrace. Make them believe. Whatever torment their soul bears in the realms beyond, it remembers not their body. So spare them at least this final passing moment from hardship. Fuck, that's bleak. You're going to hell, but we'll pretend you're not so that you get at least a few seconds of decency before you spend the rest of eternity with you when you were, well, deader than dead. Well, this is a secret fucking wall, if there ever fucking was a secret fucking wall, but, the truth of it does not immediately jump out. Ah. So we don't really need to go through that. We can get there this way. Possibly. Oh, come on. Karlak.
This'll be fun.
Thank you. Ooh, thank God.
Wonder what's past this.
Elixir of Cloud Giant Strength.
Bet that will fit in my pack.
This book tells the story of a patriarch woman who gave up her fortune to become a cleric of Ilmater in service in the outer city, and now seeks to be canonized after her death. Herein is the full of true account of my bid to be canonized after my death as Saint Bridget of Ilmater, the broken god, he of compassion and mercy, the one who endures. I have lived a blessed life of every privilege a patriarch woman can fathom. My parents were loving and generous, my community warm. Our larder was always full to bursting. But in the years after the death of Saravok, my eyes were open to the world as it is. A world of pain and danger. A world where evil, if left unchecked, can thrive. I realized that my blessings had a cost. Why had I so much when others had so little? I could no longer remain in the gilded Elysium of the upper city and sought to see the world as it truly was. If you're so fucking humble, why do you personally want to be a fucking saint? Should it not be considered an instant fucking no for sainthood if the person asking for it is the person to be considered themselves? That feels like it flies in the face of the concept. We do not get to decide our own virtue. series of behavioral lessons as derived from a devotee's interpretation of the ascendancy of the god of suffering, life, and endurance, Ilmater. Some of it is wholesome, with an emphasis on gentleness and the alleviation of hardship. Some of it is a bit more dubious, such as the veneration of martyrs above all living saints. Some of it is flatly weird, including some stuff about self-flagellation, which is not most people's idea of a good time. Miracles of the Outer City. A record of alleged miraculous phenomena in the outskirts of Baldur's Gate attributed to Ilmater. Customer of Gildo Angleiron reckons he healed up mighty quick from painful forge burn. Asked if Ilmater had something to do with the irksome talkative gent outside Carmen's, powerful agent of suffering. Soup still showing up at refugee camp even after temple closed kitchen. Curious. Man's hands tied together in horse reins, claims he's a holy symbol. Manip Nesta reports feeling close to his duty since relocation to refugee camp. Now, there's also a path there. Right, there's a door, I just didn't notice it. I am so smart. This is
This must be where Shira Clawin is buried.
Here lies Satida Atana, born 1411 DR, died 1485 DR. Here lies Flintster Sunseeker, born 1400 DR, died 1456 DR. Here lies Sister Shira Clawin, date of birth unknown, died 1491 DR.
Thou shalt return to me. Thou shalt have my blessing.
Yeah, your granddaughter's dead.
This cannot, must not, shall not be. You must open her tomb in the open-hand temple post-haste. She may bless us, even beyond the veil.
Right then.
You feel a chuckle. Here lies Reloric Windbane, born 1399 DR, died 1486 DR.
I wonder which of the four sarcophagi she's in. I wonder if it's the only one lit by natural light. I mean, we're still gonna look at everybody else.
Darling Shira, faithful to the crying god, long didst I wait, only to find thine empty flesh. Gone, thou might be, alas. Honored Shira, her spirit hath fled, and her body but merely a husk. Swear I did to shed this foul mania and bestow it upon Shira. She was to endure, to suffer, as was her god Ilmater's wont. Who now shall bear the madness Shah has wrought on me, so I might no longer suffer? Oh, shall it be thou?
Ponder what you know of the monk's affliction. What are the consequences of accepting it? Oh, eat my balls. Come on, 14 out of 15. Better.
The monk himself holds your answer. Tasha's hideous laughter is a powerful skill, but earning it may come at the cost of wisdom.
Ooh, I don't want to lose wisdom. Gods, no, I don't want to inherit your curse.
Oh, well, if laugh I must, let our alliance end on a lark. It's my way.
Very unkind. Why is it Karlach's turn? Oh, because you're the only one here that's alert. Well. I don't think we could throw the Nyrulna at this one, but I think we could throw it at you.
That's it.
Oh, it hit all of them. And still hit Gale. Shit. It's only Gale. Right, your turns.
This flesh cannot contain me.
That's not good.
No me. Here's where I be.
I think it's probably a good idea to lower it down to just the possessed one as quickly as we can. Moop, hello. Yes, this is a largely blind BG3 run that we've been doing for quite a number of months now because it's so very big. Go ahead and heal Gale, poor bastard.
Fuck yes.
War is an old woman's game.
I don't know that we need to haste her. We could get Gale to do that, but... Fuck off. There, that's better.
Battle of wits.
So it is. My thank you for firing the gift sub laser, whoever you are out there. We should cast spells with Gale because we're not going to keep using him, so his spell slots are, like, free. No effect on undead, so we shouldn't use that. Can we fireball these two, not hitting the others? Yes, if we move him. We could. He'll get an attack of opportunity, but fuck it. Ow! Oh, he can't actually... Right, well, in that case... I shouldn't have moved, though. Good God.
Now this This is my happy place.
Well, yeah, but getting... Like, I expected him to get hit, I didn't expect him to get crit. Anyway.
Got it.
That's good, he's on his arse.
Orders. What now? The witching hour.
Trapped! Oh, no!
I cannot die. Please help me.
Man, you suck. Right, well...
Gods, it's hot in here. Handy.
We have helped the spirit of the amulet. Oh.
Eternally cast then, my spirit be. No. Morning Lord, I call to thee, lend your forbearance. No.
I hate it had to end like this. A torturous fate by any measure.
Yeah.
Is it the earth beneath that crunches, or the bones within?
Don't give up now.
Good enough. Yeah, anyway, they have loot now for some reason. They didn't before, but now they do. The gift sub-laser was made for us by Smoozle. I didn't commission it. It was a joke. Then he presented me with a GIF about an hour later. Alright. Mage armor, that's probably smart.
Charmed, I'm sure.
I don't think I have it on the list, but in order to do that, we just need to edit the list.
Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
Anyway, that's the spirit of the amulet. I wonder what the other outcomes to that quest are if you take it on. I assume he doesn't fight you, but it didn't seem like something I would willingly accept threats to your wisdom. And I do wonder about this wall, because there doesn't seem to be anything outwardly happening to make it open. Not sure if it's a puzzle or what, because there's nothing visible to click on. But we could probably jump through here or fly through here or something to get around. Corners of the room, no. Ah! Oh.
Something over there.
Oh, there's another one. Well, I was walking to the wall, not to the sides.
Something over there.
There you go. That said, you could also jump across over there. And then this serves more as a hint, because it does look like it would be difficult to jump around through that. Anyway. We're investigating secret tunnels underneath the monastery, Rob. But that said, I should take my break right now and eat some food, because we are at the halfway point. And we're about to embark on a new search. So, with the ailing Gale bringing up the rear and trying not to get killed, we shall investigate further as soon as I return. Hello. It's going to be a shame going back to games where you can't just sort my inventory out for me without my input. Because I wouldn't know I have random shit hanging around. And I certainly don't have the mental energy to figure it. Yeah, we would have grabbed random shields and things. This specifically, we had a few of these a while earlier, and they were for...
Work my magic.
Not necessarily for throwing in combat, but...
All's well that ends. Oh, not as bad as it could have.
For placing over... It was after we went to Ethel's caves. Yeah, it was for vents. I haven't had a huge issue with them since, but...
Don't waste a step.
1,000 years ago when we were in Act 1. Watch that happen here. Watch this be a cave full of gas vents now, and we don't have the shield because we gave it to Gale. But I could move all these barrels and crates, really. And she's stronger than she used to be, so she can carry stuff.
Let's see what this does.
Ah, a weapon, my sweet.
A sharper one than Dodo. He spends too much time with his prey.
Law is an artist. You do well to think on that.
Doppelgangers. Oh, stop it, stop it, stop.
Well, what now, sir? We go check his place. Perhaps. We'll take one more look here, then move on to the flop house.
The flop house. A kiwi! I didn't know you could eat those. Oh, kiwi fruit. Right. That is an early quote. What kind of game tracked passion as a resource? It predates you, God. Oh! No talking? Alright. Would it be funny to just whack him with an immediate ice storm? No, I don't want to break these corpses. Let's behave. Let's just cantrip at them. You arrived on the day of quote 69. Wow. Yeah, the early days did quote a lot, admittedly. More than we quote. These days we quote maybe... We get maybe one quote every couple of months. But that's just because we have more discerning minds than we used to.
All that matters.
Still standing.
In charge of
no
such
matter
things.
What you heard.
No choice but to keep
Still
going.
standing, better than I ever did. That sucked. 8? Christ.
Ready.
I didn't put my necklace back on. You're right. Right now I have no necklace. Just, I guess, better than having no neck. Now, I should be able to throw the Narulna this time. There's a fucking wall in the way. That's bad. She can walk underneath that.
Moving.
It's got 3 rage charges left. I should rage up. Ah. This might actually hit her now, because how close she is, but doesn't matter.
1, 2.
It's fine. Might go for Muzz just because of the high ground. Yeah! Fucking one shot! Oh, but that's because it was a crit. But still! No need for an action surge.
Unleash me.
Righto. Let's do that magic missile, shall we? Let's do it at level 4. I think that's funny. Wait, what the hell is it doing? Like, huh? Why is it Why did they go around the rocks? That's so silly. Ah, but that's... Yeah, no, it works, doesn't it? Sentient Amulet now has Shatter and Key Restoration, so it still works. But we have Shatter, and we definitely don't benefit from Key Restoration, so I should swap back to my Cantrip Booster.
Very well.
It's just a trick of the pathing, but that's very... Key Restoration now restores 1d6 instead of 2. Which is funny, because, like, theoretically that means a sixth of the time it's actually going to be worse. But I guess it is better, technically. We can speak with dead Zom. He's probably not going to talk to me, though, is he? He might. And if he doesn't, then we'll just disguise self and do it again.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Never mind. Did you kill Father Lorgan?
No. Dolor did. Splendid. Kill.
I wasn't asking for color commentary on the nature of the kill. Where is Dolor now?
The corpse remains silent.
Fuck.
It does not know.
Who do you work for?
The corpse tries to speak, but something prevents it.
What were you doing here?
Cleaning up. Dolor. Messy. Left his dagger. Careless.
Why do you want this dagger?
Strong. Paralyzes.
The spell's power wanes.
Shit. Dolor. I'm not that interested in exonerating Brilgor because the man's dead, but This key, splattered with blood, is inscribed with the address of Frago's Flophouse. That is something we overheard them mention as well, so that's going to be our next port of call. Which I think means we're going to have to go... we're going to have to put the rest of this quest off, then. I mean, we can explore the rest of these tunnels, but we're not going to be able to finish it down here. Blue Connor Balkosk.
Someone was arranging these calls.
Who are these people? Penella Lumpensix. What the hell is that? Bloodied outfit. Ilasera the First, a note found on the corpse of a woman underneath the Hopenhand Temple. Oh! Ew! What? Why is the entire torso of a clown in this woman's pockets?
Clown's torso. Gods, it's awful.
Yeah.
Hey, good looking.
I hope you're not referring to the clown's torso. 15-pound torso, 8-pound arm. Jesus. It's not wearing the clown clothes in the examined picture. But it says it's still garbed in clown clothes. Anyway, she will actually struggle to carry all of him. We'll have to either separate him out or possibly put bits of him in camp temporarily. That's not an awful idea. Crawler Mucus. Coat your active weapon with poison. Field report, Deathstalker Zum. Zum. That's none of these three. We also have Lyran Dustclotter, Ben Frelane Plum, and Enris Kellum. And why did your Karlach have double carry weight? Aspirant Delore is talented, if a touch careless. The dagger he discarded lurks within these caves somewhere, though I know not where. I can smell it. The fear musk from his kills stands in the air after the act because he lets them marinate first. They stand, lie, sit, stock still as the poison fills their limbs with lead, knowing only two perfect facts. They are going to die. There is nothing they can do about it.
Never a dull moment.
Ilasera. Ilasera. The effigy of Ilasera who watched and waited. What use her eyes? She thought herself a huntress, but couldn't fathom her wool. Below is an exaggerated signature written in blood, or in the red. She was the first. So who's next?
These boots have seen everything.
Oathbreaker Night Boots. A hole! Stillmaker. So when we say that the blade is coated in a paralytic poison, This game, I love how this game just reuses its spell effects, but when they're not spells. Like, it makes sense, but rather than giving a paralysis effect, it casts hold person on the person it cuts. We found the murder weapon, though I kind of want to keep it for Astarion. In fact, I gave it to him, as you saw. We've been down there. Yes, yes. Double the poison. Double the fun. The blood trail continues. So this is definitely part of an overall Baal plot. Dribbles the clown's death is part of it. Orin has ordered it. Brilgor was probably simply killed because he was with Lorgan. In fact, it might not even have been an intent to kill Lorgan, just a fact of, hey, you're in the tunnels we're using.
I think these were the people Father Lorgan was trying to help.
Not even the most pious of priests could deliver them from this.
Tenets of the Broken God. This prayer book is blotted with tear stains, and a few of the pages bear the mark of frequent consultations. Adage 27. In the face of aversion, persevere. In the face of aggression, endure. In the face of one who is suffering, comfort. Adage 33. The broken God must shed his tears, for without he would be heartless. Likewise, you will cry. You will weep. You will feed the lamentations cutting upon your shoulder blades. Adage 92. This entire entry has been scratched out in frustration. Redil. Peridot ring to Redil, my love. Ruby ring to Velsa, my love. Melkor. Quest for alms. Brekka. Dear Mrs. Priest. Please, Father Lorgan, Rector Yanis, if you've any food to spare, our stomachs yowl at night like kicked dogs. Carrots, apples, we'll even crunch an onion if that's what you've got. Yours, Thuldra Thuldrin. We've met her, she's outside. This letter is written in the careful but erratic hand of a newly learned writer. Mum says I need to say thank you more. So thank you! Thank you for telling off that nasty woman who was shouting all those nasty things at me. That's 3 times I've wrote thank you now. 4. So I think Mum will be happy. One more thing. Did you see my teddy anywhere? I think I dropped it during all the shouting. Well, the bodies were of adults. So hopefully whoever that kid is was not caught up in this. More beds, less murder. That's good. Oh, 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 out, 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 out. Stop.
Ready and waiting. Well, certainly waiting.
Will this not hurt her? It looks like just the one vent? Or is that just a case of the perception checks?
Attention! What's this? Up to.
Oh, fuck, really? The barrel doesn't have the HP. This does, though.
Easy as.
Did it not land? Good God, why? Well, I need it.
What to do?
Run. Oh, 30? Ugh.
Let us show them how it's
Why can't
done.
you hear her ignore the poison? Has she got something? Ah. She is.
Boots worn through. You trap there. Plant your feet with care.
Is she able to pick this up?
Let's see.
And place it on the vent. Throwing breaks it, but... So where's the other vent, if you supposedly perceived it? I don't quite understand. But yes, she's able to move freely.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
That was definitely a strange way to deal with poison. I think that's everything up here. I like that the blood trail is fully visible on the map, too.
Just another crate.
Cave mouth. I think I know where this is going to take us out. No? No. We are below the bridge. I was thinking we would be there. That Circle of the Land ability really buries the lead, doesn't it? If a Fae or Elemental tries to charm you, you have advantage. Also, you are immune to all poisons and disease, including Cloud Kill. Yeah, that is cooler than the other thing. Interestingly, I don't know how the hell you'd get back in. Oh no, the entrance is there, but it's well hidden by the rocks. Well, we've been placed here. So perhaps we should explore down here, or perhaps we should just go back. At least explore this side and then come back after. But by the same token, we really don't have anything else to do. Because we need to go to the flop house, I assume, to use the key.
More for me.
We've got a key and a location. That's interesting. Why is he here? We'll start by going east because we've been in the eastern side before. I'll at least explore the overland. If that big cave takes me to another big area, then I won't go in there until after I've looked at the bridge, but we can look down here for now. It takes you up. Ah, yes. No, I replaced the necklace.
That might be worth a look.
Do what must be done.
We're a long way from Waterdeep.
Here, summon a water elemental. That'll make you feel better about lacking Waterdeep.
So that's progress. Should mind my step. That might be worth a look.
Am I allowed to long stride the elementals? Yes. Though unfortunately I now have to cast it a second time because we have 6 people. And I missed. There we go. Oh, I do like that we can actually see civilians over there. That's, not traversable. That's background to indicate how much bigger the refugee problem is, but they actually did bother to put wandering, civilians. A lot of games would just put tents. Now, are you two able to... They are able to climb up the rocks. Thankfully, this is not a jumping area, it's a climbing area, so they're alright. We didn't go through that cave. We came out of this cave. Is that correct? I believe I marked, or I didn't mark it, but I told myself that I needed to explore here. You wouldn't go in there until after visiting the bridge. Interesting.
Something's off here. I'm not sure what.
We all failed survival school.
Nothing interesting buried here. Nothing but dirt. Nothing but dirt. Nothing but dirt.
Maybe the survival check was about the situation,
No
not
use
about
digging here.
the usual. Normally you don't say, I wonder why I just failed a check when you failed a digging check. Well, you might. We could visit the bridge. There's also a journalist here who I haven't spoken to. We could at least visit, but we don't have to go into any of the buildings.
This is front page material.
Hello, Lens the journalist.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Ah, are you trying to get into the city? Got a minute to tell me about your experience at the gate today?
Sorry, who are you?
I'm Lens, roving reporter for the Baldur's Mouth Gazette. My editor sent me to cover the drama out here at the gate. He wants some fluff piece about the heroic Steel Watch keeping the mob at bay. Whether or not that's the truth or not.
Ah, so Lens is the fourth Orin. That means we found... I think we said there were 5? And that the 5th one's super out of the way. My guess, based on... Because I think it was like referenced that the 5th one is somewhere under the bridge. Is that right? So whoever's under the bridge, I haven't found them, but this is the last one above ground and the last sensible one. Although I imagine most people would have found their Orins before they reach Lens, based on how deep in she is. But if you're beelining, yeah, you'd get her. I thought journalists were supposed to be in... Let's not start getting into the discourse about ethics in gate journalism. Sorry. And what do you think is the truth?
That the refugees here are desperate, hungry, scared people. They're no mob. They just want to be safe. I've heard the rumours. Absolutists marching from Moonrise Towers. Whole towns felled by strange curses. It's no wonder they ran. Of course, I can't write any of that. My editor only releases stories his friend Lord Gortash approves of. And he's very selective.
Oh, Orin would have had fun with you. But I'm glad that you were spared it, because you seem much nicer than the goddamn blacksmith. I guess that's the thing, like, once you know who's who, you could then tailor your playthroughs so that Orange specifically targets the bastards. I'd love to speak to your editor. Where can I find him?
At the Gazette's print house. Though it's in the lower city, so you'll need to get past the gates first.
Not a problem.
Come to think of it, you remind me of someone he was writing a piece about. You, might want to speak to him about that. Set the record straight before the ink is dry, so to speak. Now, if you don't mind, I've got some edits to make. Sorry, can't talk. I'm on a deadline.
Is it comfortable standing and writing in the middle of a bush? I wouldn't think so. Fist Wern.
I've got my eye on you. And them over there too. I don't miss a thing.
How many eyes have you got? Are you a beholder in a disguised self-suit?
We won't clear from Arm. There's nowhere else to go.
The game is saving itself. That's always a lovely sign. And here's the people we were overhearing, right? When we were up there.
I need you to step back.
There must be something.
I said, step back.
Kids running around. Danbo Indigo.
Pa said the Flaming Fist would be nice, but they don't seem nice.
Kid, it's time for you to learn the ACAB lesson.
Everyone is so mean here.
Yep, that's the ACAB lesson.
They won't let us in. And they asked we were nice too.
That's an actual child.
Can't let you in. I thought we'd be
As opposed to a 30-year-old actress trying to be a child, I mean.
Well, all you want.
I'm so tired.
Outraged.
Billigan Indigo.
Our kind.
Get in line. We were here first.
You need a towel, mate. Samia Indigo.
Enough, Ketsu. I'm not going anywhere. Not till they let us through.
You'll be here till the end of time. Horace Christ.
Heartless bastards. If they just listen.
I'll listen harder if you attack them. Noira Christ.
We can't get in. I have family here. They said we'd be welcome.
What did I do to Auntie Ethel? Well, we were friendly enough, but then when I went into her basement, she got very angry and got bigger. And
The Duke. Ravengard, I think. I heard he's a good man.
we had a rather aggressive conversation. Fist Kepso.
We have the Duke's full support. Take it somewhere else. My hands are full.
Right then, Fist Selena instead. So long as I'm fisting someone, you know.
Damned outsiders. Swarming the place.
Speaking of Ethel, you have her face.
Damned outsiders.
With some alterations, but still, that was her face. Right. So we've been building and building. I think it might be time that we say hello to the quivering tall man with 200 HP. Level 11 Steel Watcher. Right, we didn't take her bribe, no, because she happened to lock onto my barbarian and there was a really funny line to do with rejecting her.
Step back.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a... It's probably not a fight. We're in the middle of Baldur's Gate. Like, I'm sure we'll have the option, but it wouldn't be wise. Gauntlet Edwina, Fist Jepson, Fist Richter. Not to be confused with Fist Rector. Anyway.
Halt! By orders of Lord Gortash,
Refugees are no longer allowed in the city.
Oh, sorry, there's been a misunderstanding. I'm not a refugee, I'm a video game protagonist. Actually... Right, let me... Jaheira lives here, right? Like, recognizably famous figure. Shouldn't she do the talking? Supposedly I do, yeah, but like... Okay, Karlach did, but then got sold to the Hells. Gale, I think, did, kinda. Will did, but that's awkward because of the Ravengard stuff. Astarion did, but that's awkward because of the vampire crime kidnapping stuff. Yeah, Jaheira's the only one I think maybe would have an in there, but we have her. Yeah, Gale lives in Waterdeep, you're right. How could I forget? Thought he just called himself that because he liked to swim. You have no idea who you're talking to. Let me through or I will fucking kill you. Will has encounters where he can tell people who he is, and nobody believes him because he's got horns. Although I wonder how that would go in the version of the game in which you kill off Karlach and let Will keep his handsome appearance. Anyway, I'm not a refugee.
Well, do you have the means to support yourself?
Sorry, are you asking me for a fucking bribe? I live off what I find in nature.
Then you don't need to be in the city. Next!
This is front page material.
I'm gonna see if this has an effect.
The smallest of small talk.
Halt! By orders of Lord Gortash, refugees are no longer allowed in the city. Turn around.
I've lived in this cesspit longer than you've been alive. We can compare stinks if you would like.
Uh-huh. Eyes open, body still.
Why?
The Watcher will communicate with our new intelligence directorate. They'll determine if you're a threat to the city.
Hello,
Upstanding
Aaron.
citizens have no reason to fear. And you are an upstanding citizen, aren't you?
Interestingly enough, Jaheira is probably the cleanest member of the party. I'm just... Where I'm at right now is, do I want to do this as her, or do I want to go back to being myself so that I get her voice lines if she has some? I think I want to hear Jaheira voice lines more than I want to see if how this... I might save, or rather, we've got a quick save successful there. I might just load one of these later to find out what happens. But let's do it as myself first, because I don't want to miss it if she does pipe up. What happens if I talk to one of these guys instead, actually?
Our kind.
See the gauntlet for processing.
What happens if I just walk past?
Outsiders. No trespassing. You want access? See the gauntlet.
You started planning Blackout and Hollow again? I believe in you.
What path lies before me?
I can't let you pass. See the gauntlet.
Okay, so they really do insist on this scene. Fair enough.
See the gauntlet.
Fucking Karlach hit the trigger as well.
No refugees. It is decreed.
I have urgent business in the city.
Well, do you have the means to support yourself?
Motherfucker, why do I have to pay you?
Right. Article 30.1.5 of the Council's decree on extraordinary wartime measures. I am confiscating that. The city thanks you for your contribution. Your name?
I'm called Daisy Dewdrop Fluffington. You are scamming me. Give me my money back. What do we reckon? Do the votes work at the moment? I haven't done them in a while. So far, we're going with you are scamming me. You are scamming me. Give me my money back.
Oh, take it up with the Duke if you don't like it. Now, your name?
That was not a denial. It is good to know that Jaheira can get in for free. I'm called Daisy Dewdrop Fluffington.
Well met, citizen Fluffington.
Your parasite stirs. From the construct, you feel connection, resonance.
What in the hells is that thing?
I am a Steel Watcher, citizen. Here to serve the people of Baldur's Gate in the name of Lord Enver Gortash.
State your business.
Business?
I'm a herbalist by trade, Sir Fist. My assistants and I were out collecting blooms for that rub rot going around. Oof, nasty business. Contagious.
Uh-huh. Eyes open, body still.
Yeah, that's why we... Yep, okay, good. I was right to swap back to me. What the fuck was that? Well, why would she... Okay, why is she lying? Would she not... I guess because Gortash is sort of taking over and Baldur's Gate is, like, compromised, maybe? But, like... Alright. Examine me.
Behind the Watcher's gaze, a presence awakens. You are seen. You are known.
Whoa. My engine, it's almost... I don't know... buzzing. Like it's paying attention.
Your party's prior transgressions are reflected in its stare,
right.
as witnessed by the cult's ever-alert, scrying eyes.
Oh, I
It has
killed, like,
heard
tons
the
of those.
howls of slaughtered goblins. It has seen the deep shadows of Grimforge, and the stone floors left bloodied. It knows the cold walls of Moonrise Towers, and the cultists who fell there. The Watcher speaks directly into your mind with a voice like poisoned honey.
You are marked for special treatment. Not simply an enemy of the people, but an enemy of the Absolute. Come quietly, or die.
No. What the fuck? I'm not gonna bloody fight. The Steel Watcher just mentioned the Absolute in a way that was not antagonistic. Are you not worried about this, fisty friends? Oh, it's mental. Right. I'm gonna hit consent to arrest because I can break out of a cell better than I can get into a fight on the streets, right?
Your peaceful surrender has been noted. You will be transferred to Worms Rock Prison, where you will await further sentencing.
Eat this, you pile of junk!
That's one of Wilburn's gnomes.
Villains, take heed.
God damn it all!
Recovery is imminent.
Bastards, or I'll have your heads!
I don't know which way I want to go. This way, I guess. Because if I go that way, I don't know how to get back out.
This unit is damaged.
Oh, follow them?
Citizen. This unit is damaged, citizen. This unit is damaged, citizen.
They went towards the but they went in this way. Or they went that way. Tell you what. I am going to do this with Jaheira. I want to see what happens. Which quick save is it? Oops! I didn't mean to click on that. Well, this is the wrong quick save. It's too late. But yeah, no, let's find out if Jaheira gets the same scene, because you're right, there's no tadpole to resonate.
Villains, take heed.
Find those little
Oh, those are the
Recovery is
fists!
imminent.
The gnomes do go this way, I think. Actually, no, I don't see them. Well, we might get them again if we do the... If this doesn't actually change anything. And I don't think it would. Because the rest of us are here and it was scanning all of us. So I think that's how they'll figure it, but we'll see. It's still interesting enough to check, isn't it? There we are.
Citizens only.
Right, Jaheira.
But we won't clear from Arm. There's nowhere else to go. Please.
Orders are all...
Citizen, you are being accompanied by a malfunctioning steel watcher. Please stand back.
What?
I think you have the wrong hunk of metal.
False. Report your purpose, steel watcher. Why are you following these citizens unbidden? Ah. I understand your malfunction. Your unit is a highly outdated model. The Ragnak's casement protecting your metallurgized iced valves is burning well outside the recommended temperature. Please report to the Steelwatch Foundry for dismantling.
Huh. Right, I was clicking on the watcher, not on the gauntlet. It thinks you're one of them, Karlach. Why?
Not sure. Maybe whatever keeps them going is similar to my tin can. Turns out I'm the fucking prototype for these things. I'll dismantle every single one of them.
Shh, maybe
Any threat to the Steelwatch is a threat to Lord Gortash himself. Please report to the Steelwatch Foundry for immediate dismantling.
What can you tell us about Gortash?
Yeah. Anything spicy you can tell me about the old prick?
You will speak of our creator, Lord Enver Gortash, with respect. He is the savior of our city, currently being inducted as the Archduke of Baldur's Gate. You will keep your distance, Steel Watcher. You are malfunctioning. Report to the Steel Watch Foundry for immediate dismantling.
Let's make tracks before this thing gives me the lash of Bane. See you around, soldier.
Address officer for access.
I heard he's a good man.
I wonder if that conversation can happen with any Steel Watcher, because we're about to break this one.
We have the Duke's full.
Halt! By all... Eyes open.
Alright, let's see what happens.
Behind the Watcher's gaze, a presence awakens.
Ha!
You may not carry a mind flayer parasite, but it sees you, knows you.
Whoa.
Your party's prior it has heard that. It has seen the deep. It knows the cold walls of Moonrise.
No, I was only there for the third one of those. I don't know why the fuck you are laying the whole adventure at my feet.
With a voice like poisoned honey.
You are marked for special treatment. Not simply an enemy of the people, but an enemy of the Absolute. Come quietly, or die. Your peaceful surrender
We
has
lost the
been
Jaheira
noted.
approval, that's the only thing.
You will be transferred to Worms Rock Prison.
Eat this, you pile of junk!
Alright, I'm gonna watch these gnomes.
Villains, take heed.
Damn it all!
I can't fucking see the gnomes. They just disappear.
Just a little further.
That'll make a great headline.
Yeah, reckon?
Let's get going.
I should speak up.
Sorry, can't talk. I'm on a deadline.
I'm not sure whether, or like how you get. How do you deal with like? If it's damaged permanently, I guess we could just walk on in now. But because yeah, my intention is not to go through there just yet. But clearly, you have to be able to go back and forth through here as part of the game. I'm not worried. There'll be a way. If we absolutely need to, we can just leap from here to there. Climb up that ladder.
Some coin. There's some vermin I need squashed.
Who are you talking to? But literally... Yeah, if you don't save the gnomes, you have to, Yeah, no, I'd just be able to jump across like this. And then climb up there, and then whoops, we're past the checkpoint. So, if we do have to deal with this later, like, say for example we took a long rest and the Watcher was back. Let's take a look. Angle Iron Cellar. Oh! And there they are. A group of deep gnomes attacked the Steel Watcher when it scanned us. They fled. We should follow them. Speak to Wulbren. I genuinely do not see them run into this cave from outside, though. Like,
wish I had a bag of holding.
I'm not sure if I just miss it, but... It's odd.
The boss is expecting you. Hasn't forgotten what you did for him at Moonrise.
What the fuck kind of name is Hoagie Nooners?
Two days just to get hold of a Steel Watcher optic module. And for what? Waste of time we don't have.
Dulber's Frint.
Look, unless you're an expert in Steel Watcher gyroscopics, please get out of my light.
You have no light. This is the darkest room I've been in since we got here.
Keep your stubby sausage fingers away from my instruments, Sally Hoon. I don't have time to replace them.
Sorry, Zally Hoon!
Keep your stubby...
Bumpnagel.
You think I want my clan facing down one of those walking death machines with cutlery? Then leave me to my work. Only if you're quick.
Nimble-fingered gloves, but it only works on gnomes, halflings, and dwarves. Martial exertion. Take a bunch of damage in order to get another attack. No. Thunderpalm strikers. Flash blinder. If it is a Steel Watcher, it is stunned. How many of those are we going to be fighting? Is it worth grabbing them? Pack of arrows otherwise. It was a gem I picked up that I accidentally didn't add to... There we go. My eventual build will eat Steel Watchers for breakfast. Interesting. But we have 12,000 bucks, I don't mind.
Back to it.
So the vendor seems to be fine for me. Nimble?
I shouldn't say anything to you until you've spoken to Wulbren. He's very... particular.
Philomene.
Huh? You look different when you're not trying to talk someone down from igniting a barrel of rune powder.
Glad you survived.
Questions at Wulbren. That's his job. I can make time for chatter after you know what's what.
Will you stop standing inside each other in public? Nichols.
It stopped. But it'll happen again. It keeps happening. The shivering, shaking, quaking. Don't you feel it?
Yes, it keeps happening. What? Don't worry, it's probably just the world ending.
No. The stone, it wouldn't... Everything is going to crumble and fall away. We'll be dust. I want to go home.
Well, I'm glad my finger twitched right when he was halfway... right when he'd finished a sentence, because it didn't actually sound that clunky. But no, I did not mean to skip that line. Thulla!
You're here.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. This damn city's more treacherous than the Underdark.
I like that we're now seeing all of the gnomes that we saved from the various parts of the game. And I imagine if you didn't save any of them, then none of them would be here. Apprentice Larida.
Still trying to calm down a bit. Talk to Wulbren, would you?
I can't bloody find him.
Locked. But there's no keyhole. Must be a switch or something nearby.
And this must be the blacksmiths. We saw the other side of that cellar entrance. We couldn't go in. Here's Wulbren Bongle. What has he got to do with angle iron, though? Do you reckon he'd notice if I stole his rune powder bomb? Boy. Yeah, I reckon he'd probably notice. Barkers! I'm going to talk to you before I talk to Che Guevara over there.
There you are. Good. We need to strategize.
Do we?
Wulbren is planning something.
Really?
Lots of moving parts.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to suss the details
I never
myself.
would have guessed that the man in the secret hideout with the biggest fucking bomb I've ever seen on his table might be planning something nefarious. You look worried.
I am. I knew him rash, but this is unspeakable. Speak to him. Help him see sense. Someone has to.
I'll help him see stars.
Good to see you. Wasn't sure you'd make it to the city. Regretting it yet?
Coming here? No. Coming down here? Maybe.
Time thinking of worst-case scenarios while I was locked in that cell you plucked me out of at Moonrise. I didn't imagine anything as bad as this. The Gondians have handed Enver Gortash the means to bring about the end of liberty in Baldur's Gate.
Okay, that might be bad.
And the citizens have rolled out the red carpet for the new tyrant. Resistance fighters are few and far between. My iron hands, what's left of the Harpers, and you. I hope.
Gortash is a dead man. I have reasons of my own for taking him down.
As long as our objective is the same, the reason doesn't matter to me. We have a common enemy. But neither of us gets what we want until we deal with our biggest obstacle. The Steel Watch. They're a threat to you, me, and every man, woman, and child in this city. They act all civilized, servants of the people, but they only serve one man. When he becomes Grand Duke, it will only get worse. Laws will change, freedoms will vanish, and soon you'll be accused and sentenced before you've even committed a crime. And the fucking Gondians are to blame for all of it.
Personally, I put a lot of blame on Gortash.
A tyrant's nothing without lackeys. And the Gondians are the perfect lackeys. Dangerously intelligent, pathetically submissive. They invented the Steel Watchers, and they're building an army of them. They've always been happy to provide their technology to despots in exchange for a stipend and the freedom to work in peace. They would have licked Saravok's boots, given the chance. And now they'll kiss Gortash's ring while this city screams. I had a plan to put a stop to them. But the way things are now, if we stick our heads above ground, the Watchers are on us like flies on shit.
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole. What was the plan?
Same as it always is. Eliminate the threat. In this case, the foundry where these atrocities are produced. The Gondians are ingenious, but we're more than equal to them. There's nothing they can build that the Iron Hands can't tear down. I've built something unique for just that purpose. A room powder bomb. First of its kind. 50 wizards high on the weave couldn't summon this kind of firepower.
Gale could!
Put the bomb inside the Gondian facility, and boom. Problem solved.
Oberyn, please. This is too far. Everyone in the foundry would be killed.
Quiet, Barkus. The adults are talking.
That's the second biggest bomb I've ever seen. Really? What's the first? Well, funny story, it is also in this room. This is much funnier for the fact that we have him here right now. Barkus has a point. This sounds a little bit like mass murder.
It's liberation.
Hmm.
The Gondians picked their side the minute they took orders from Gortash. If they had any courage, they'd have refused him and died like heroes, spitting in his face. Now they'll die like the dogs they are.
I'll make contact with the Gondians. Maybe they'll see reason.
That's what I've been saying. There may yet be a peaceful solution.
Fine. You want to try flapping your gums in the belly of the beast? Be my guest. But their idea of diplomacy is a steel fist shoved where the sun don't shine. So take the bomb. Just in case I'm right and you're wrong.
I mean, I could use that in 1,000 other places, so I'm definitely not going to say no to your bomb. But I'll only use it as a last resort. It's very interesting to see the language he uses with the Gondians and Gortash. Yes. This isn't exactly the most subtle of characterization that I've ever seen, but it is realistic. Wulbren is the kind of extremist that we see a lot of. And these folks are a problem in the face of acceptable social change. Yeah, the actual problem, the actual villain, is not as offensive to him as his personal racial prejudice. He has a dangerous bias. I've never even met. I don't know what a Gondian is. I assume it's another type of inventive gnome. I don't remember. I think it sounds like he's mentioned them before in previous conversations, but I don't fully remember. But like, this is the first time I've taken real note. But yeah, no, he is like using every bit of racist language in the book when he's referring to them, like dehumanizing or denominizing, whatever. Yes, he's the type of person who, if you like pushed him on his hatred, he would find ways to make it sound justified. Even though they're flimsy, they would be enough to convince him. Therefore, he will stick by them. He's a dangerous sort of person because he does not believe... He does not see his own problem, even though it's blisteringly obvious. A lot of people are like that with their problems, though. But I will take his bomb. And I think part of why we should take his bomb is because I think us having his bomb is better than him having his bomb.
As long as you see sense, I don't care when you see it.
That's an interesting difference.
The foundry is in the lower city.
Down by the docks. Beautiful building. Belching smoke into the sky day and night. Getting inside won't be easy.
That's cool.
But when you do, place the bomb at the heart of the facility. Get yourself back to street level. The streets will be clear of watchers in no time.
Karlach is not a person of nuance. Us saying, fine, I'm willing to take the bomb, but I'll only use it as a last resort, she sees that as, oh, so you are willing to commit mass murder and blow everybody up? And so she disapproves. Jaheira is a do-gooder of the highest order, but is also very socially and emotionally intelligent and cunning. She approves of taking the bomb, probably for the same reason I just said, because it is better for us to have it than for him to have it. Also, she is a person who would compromise if there was no other resort. The taking of a resource does not indicate a willingness or a desire to use it. It just means that you're leaving your options open because, hey, it is possible that we will arrive there and find that the only good solution is to blow up the building. She's willing to accept that, even if she'll do everything she can to avoid it. Now, how big this bomb be? Where is it? 16-pounder. Karlach does not have the space because of all those clown bits. Weirdly, Gale does, but that's because he's not carrying anything.
Lovely day, this.
Should we have Gale be our resident bomb carrier more, but inside and outside? No, because we're not going to keep him with us. Jaheira.
Call and I answer.
Jaheira actually has a lot of free space because we haven't been using her throughout the game, so we haven't built up an inventory for her.
No time to rest.
This makes sense too because Karlach wouldn't want to touch it.
Careful! Lots of open flames down here. I don't want that bomb close to any of them. What is it?
Are you sure this is the only way?
Yes. I wouldn't have asked you if it wasn't, friend.
Okay.
Such authority.
Oh, it didn't blow up.
Hasn't got.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Does it blow up at 0 HP? Yes. Huh. Everyone's dead except for me and Karlach. And there's a couple of angry gnomes outside. I'm going to reload. Fascinated that chucking it didn't blow it up. Yeah, well, it wasn't really designed to go off here, and it's a matter of, like, this game does not have destructible terrain. It does, but, like, selective. The destructible terrain is objects. Anyway, if we really wanted to kill him and kill everybody else in the room, we'd use the Gale bomb. But I'm not that keen.
Looking ahead
to wreak havoc.
Careful! Lots of open flames down here. I don't want that bomb close to any... Keep your head down. Get to the lower city and find the foundry down by the docks. Getting inside won't be easy, but when you do, place the bomb at the heart of the facility. Get yourself back to street level.
What's up for discussion?
Great, terrorism.
A rune powder bomb? Oh, what the devil has he become?
A fanatic with no thought for innocent life.
The Wulbrin I know. The one who skipped rocks with me in the Underdark. He's still in there. I know it. But his hate for the Gondians has blinded him. He believes they work for the Absolute willingly. But it's not true. I'm sure of it. Something is wrong. Very wrong. Please, speak to them before you do anything. They deserve a chance to plead their case before being blown to pieces, don't you think?
Yes.
That's all I ask. Questions first, violence later. And only if absolutely necessary. Gondians respond well to reason. So when you meet them, be reasonable.
On my way.
Now let's see what the others have to say.
Those things are terrifying. If someone hadn't been there. But they were. And I'm here now. I'm safe.
How are things with you and Philomene?
Awkward, in a word. She's made it quite clear she doesn't want me around. When I think about it, I'm not sure she ever did. I was foolish. I just want to be useful, but I'm not as good at this as the others. But I'll get better. I tell you to stay safe out there, but I don't think that's an option.
Probably not.
Thank Gerdle we escaped that bloody Steel Watcher. No thanks to you.
It looked like you had it under control.
We did, but we very nearly didn't. Everything's lining up for the Iron Hands, though. Wulbrin's about to put his grand plan into action.
Wulbrin's boots must be the shiniest around with you here to lick them for him. What's wrong with Nichols? He seems pretty agitated.
I don't know. I thought he would have calmed down after we got him away from that place, but there's something else here disturbing him.
I've heard all about his plan. I think it sounds dangerous.
It's necessary. Besides, Wulbrin wouldn't let anyone innocent get hurt.
Oh, Nimble.
Wulbrin's the one you
More shaking.
Oh, Nimble. Nimble, 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 nimble.
Now you've spoken to the big man? Good to see you. Never thought I'd meet you again, let alone fight on the same side. Glad we both made it out of Grimforge alive, and that I didn't have to use that rune powder to make a point.
You had a lover back in Grimforge, didn't you? How is she?
Larida? It would have been simpler if you'd told her I was dead. Begged me to take her back when she saw me. I made it clear there was nothing between us, and after a while she finally got the message. Now we can both focus on what's actually important. Taking out the Gondians. I overheard you're going to be helping us fight the good fight. Knew I would have regretted blowing you up. Better get on with it then. Wulbrin wouldn't have put his trust in you for nothing.
It's not like I'd blow him
Back
up in an
again.
alternate universe or anything.
You stick around like smoke powder stink. Make yourself useful or make yourself scarce.
Well, fuck, you were nicer to me a second ago. She's easy enough to kill. You just need to let her go boom.
Keep your...
Thola, there's the last one I wanted to speak to.
Gonna help us clear those watchers from the streets?
That's the plan, but I'm not comfortable with the collateral damage, though.
That bomb will save a lot more people than it kills. Trust me. I've seen what those watchers can do.
Hmm.
Gonna help us clear those watchers from the street?
Trust me.
Right, let's scare the shit out of the blacksmith, shall we?
My hands on everything.
Seriously, why are the gnomes under his... Like, has he got to deal with them? He hates people. What the hell?
Not a chance. Your mother will kill me. Let the kid come. He wants to tease that refugee.
Please, keep bothering me. I've no work to get on with.
Why are you harbouring Iron Hand gnomes in your cellar?
Been poking around downstairs, have you? Well, I've got nothing to hide. Those gnomes are victims. They've spent years in exile, no forge to call their own, all because of some ancient bloody grudge. The Gondians think they're the only ones fit to swing a hammer round here. They're wrong. One day they'll learn that the hard way. Until that happens, I'll give those Iron Hands a roof over their heads. Nothing wrong with it. Now, clear off. You want anything else? Go to the shop. I've got work to do.
The way I went from, he's a nice man after all, to, oh, never mind, he's helping them because they want to blow up his competition. Right. Still a prick, I'm gonna have to... I'm gonna have to go with still a prick. So, what do we do next? Well, it's the end of this stream. There's more to be explored under the bridge, or we could start to explore across the bridge and the shops. This steel watcher is still barred, so for now we don't have a problem walking up here. But what happens if I talk to the gauntlet? Out of curiosity, I'm going to talk to the gauntlet.
Move along.
Oh, well, that's not a problem then, is it? We'll probably explore all below next stream and then all above after that, but everything bit by bit. For all that this feels like a giant area, I mean, the city itself ain't gonna be any smaller. Gauntlet got her money. Oh. No, she didn't. We did Jahira's method this time. She actually skipped the fee. I saved 200 gold in exchange for losing a point of Jahira approval, because she can't approve of her own decisions. Well, she can, but... It's actually a shame, because we would be at 40. But anyway, we'll get there. It doesn't have a huge impact in the end, does it? I just saved manual. Yeah, I did. Alright. Next Tuesday, more of this. Saturday, well, tomorrow, we'll be going up against Sean Bean and Hitman. And then Sunday, we'll be starting Sea of Thieves, which I've been thinking of starting ever since I finished 14. Since there's a Monkey Island story I'd like to do. But we're not going to do that necessarily this weekend. I'm just going to get into the game and see how it works. I'll be playing with Swede and Ravalia and a free 4th space if somebody wants to take that. But otherwise, we'll see what happens. I don't know what to expect, because it'll be brand new. Fare thee well.